ちょっとしたもんだろ。
Yeah, this kid gave me the idea for it. Yeah, that one. That kid. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, and we are back with, well, the first episode of Dallos. If you missed it, we did the pilot before, which turned out to be a history lesson to the last... Oh, God, now I've already forgotten. I literally just watched it, and I've already forgotten. We started, what, in the 80s? And, oh, God, the last date I remember seeing was 2001, but that wasn't right. Either way, we've got moon colonies now. We tried to escape the oppressive nature of living on Earth, and those people got subjugated by, I guess, the authority of the people on Earth, transferred via the authority of the people on the moon. Basically, we got like what feels like a police state and a worker economy, and the Lunarians have started to build something called Dallos, and we do not know what it is. I made the gamble last time that it's going to turn out to be a giant mecha, because that's just what happens on this channel, is we random our way into, usually we random our way into 90s mecha anime, because we don't know a lot of 90s anime, and it just turns out to be the things suggested to us turn out to be mecha anime, or the things I randomly pick. Like, I didn't suspect Infinite Rivus was going to have a giant mecha in it, and it did. I don't know what I'm looking at here in like screenshot number 1, but those do look like giant eyeballs to me, and possibly a bridge of a nose, which reads as giant mecha. So no bets, giant mecha. Other than that, though, this is of course first episode. I'm recording it right after that pilot, so of course no chance for any audience weigh in or anything. I'm thinking what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to record this episode. So if you're watching this now, you're going to know how this is going to pan out. Then I'm going to watch episode 2. And then I'm going to take a break for a week to do my normal breakdown, take my notes. If I'm going to do a board or anything, I'll do that. So I can give myself some time to think about how everything is panning out. And then, of course, audience interaction if you guys want to talk to me about any of this. And then we'll do the next 2 episodes. And then we'll go on from there. Well, obviously won't go on from there. There's only 4 episodes. Oh, wait, though. I already forgot. There is the Dallos special. So we'll do the next 2 episodes after that. Another week. And then I'll do the movie version of the OVA series. So there you go. If you're wondering how everything's being handled, you have my schedule. So other than that, already feels like I'm rambling again. Only thing I can think to do to break a ramble, hop on into it.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button.
Comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
Pretty epic opening sound. And remember, in the pilot, this thing was like half buried in the dust of a moon crater. I'm not exactly sure if we're seeing it from that perspective here, or these are just like creative opening shots. I like that segmented armored look. It's always cool to see. No, yeah, that's what we saw in pilot. Oh, do you think it's going to be 2 giant eyeballs that open up? Like, it's the head coming out of the surface, and it's going to, like, burst its way forward? At the end of the 21st century, Earth has solved its problems of increasing population and declining resources by developing the moon. Exploiting the mineral resources of the moon has allowed the sustained and polluted Earth to recover its people to flourish. Sorry, to recover and its people to flourish. However, the settlers who abandoned the mother planet and migrated to the moon are enduring serious hardships. I always feel pressed by a text scroll. Feels like the 80s. Hey, it's oh God, what was that movie with the with the
いつになく監視が厳しいな。奴らに踏み込まれぬうちに俺の考えを言っておこう。人質
sorry, I forgot completely.
人質誰を
The aliens look like prawns and they go into that place and they get
武器を
isolated.
持つことを許されていない俺たちが奴らと対等に張り合うにはこれが一番よ。だろ
00法ポイント資料館ジョニ室に挙動不審な男たちの気配あり。資料館にズームイン。赤外線スキャナー操作。鑑識リングキャッチ。前科ありの反応。ナンバー
Is that like a heat signature on that guy?
ナンバー確認。ドグマッコイ36歳。影組士のリーダーとして指名手配中。他の4人のリングナンバー撮影完了。直ちに出動。逮捕されたし。
Everything is just gonna have a cool soundtrack, I feel like. The 80s were just the best. Oh, we're gonna catch dog with dogs. That's irony.
逃げたか。まだそう遠くは行ってない。
Oh, well trained, I guess, so they went right back to the pods. Also, I feel like we only checked one room. I guess to be fair, if you can like scan everybody on the street.
ナンバーの男たちを発見。030ポイント。
This is a super invasion of privacy, though. They can scan you all through the walls.
サブウェイかもわからんぜ。
How were you able to find him that you know he's on point 30, but you don't know exactly where he was at? God, I love the soundtrack. Gonna run face first into a train. It's just right there.
手配のリングナンバー、キャッチ。デバッカー1より2、3へ。奴らはスタフォードステーションで降りた。以上。
Except they didn't. They got right back on the train. Wait, was it Macross now too? Like Macross crossed with Patley Don't mind me, just riding the escalator.
このステーションで降りた人間はこれだけか。そうだ。奴らを逮捕したか。いや、報告を受けたリングナンバーの男たちはここでは下車していない。何？食わされたぜ。奴らは次の終着駅だ。バースロミューか。いけねえ。その先はレベル3だ。
What, the station is Bartholomew? Because I thought the guy's name was Dog.
うまく巻いたな。だが俺たちのリングナンバーもすっかり記録されちまったぜ。
Now, is this one of the smaller domes, or is this like the giant dome that I thought existed in the pilot?
ジェロニモ。クズどもめが。
Looks like we got a badass on our hands. Oh, I didn't even recognize he was one of the cops. Well, technically, it should be moon gravity. You guys should be bouncing all over the place. Unless they gave artificial gravity to the moon. Feels like they did. Yeah, I was thrown by the fact that they have all blue uniforms, and he has like his black uniform with everything on it.
明日は地球から私の大切な客がやってくる。出迎えるにあたり、モノポリスの掃除を徹底するように厳重に公安部長に命じておいたが、掃除人のお前たちがこうも頼りにならなくては、自分の手を汚すしかあるまい。一人足りません。何？ドグマッコイという男です。
Yeah, that's the guy I was talking about. Guy named Dog.
レベル3。
I do have a affection for like pit cities. I don't know what you call them. Every time I try to make a tabletop game, use a city. That's the design I enjoy. You just like staring at his ass? What are you doing, man?
いい気なもんだ。赴任してきてまだ1年。あの人にはこのモノポリスの状況なんか分かっちゃいねえのさ。レベル3に逃げ込まれたら犯罪者と分かっていても逮捕するのは難しい。ここはカスバだもんな。かといって、
That's Casbah.
その4人を本部にご
That's
送して
in
くれ。
Rock, though.
行くぞ。
Well, this guy has the look of protagonist. Hero. And incoming love interest.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess that's going to be our hero's journey, is that Dog is going to run into this guy, get him involved.
レイチェルか。どうだい？お父さんの傷の具合は。
だいぶ良くなってるんだけど、まだ。
そうか。ま、焦らずじっくり治療に専念してもらうことだな。
ええ。でも父は気にしてるんです。休んでいる間、父のノルマが皆さんの負担になってるって。
気にすることはないよ。同じ移民船でやってきた仲じゃないか。
Lunarians being overworked. That was part of the pilot.
レイチェル、よかったら後で一緒に。
The choice of headbands, though, that wasn't.
ありがとうおばさん。
シュンなら屋上だよ。また機械いじりだ。
知ってる。
あと何年かな。
え？何が？
シュンとレイチェルのことだよ。
嫌ですよ、お父さん。シュンはまだ子供です。それにレイチ
I
ェ
mean,
ル
it's so obvious that the characters are commenting on it
そ
now.
うかもしれんが、わしもこの先そう長くはないからな。達也がいてくれれば。
お父さん、その話はやめましょ
う。ああ、悪かったな。年寄りの愚痴じゃ。
I don't know who they were talking about specifically, because the way that she, like, blanched about it, I almost thought it was going to be, like, her brother or, like, his son dead. I don't know. Don't know what I'm looking for here.
よっぽど好きなのね、シュンは。
何が？
機械いじり。
そうでもないけどさ、まだ使えるのを捨てるのはもったいないじゃないか。ほら、これだって圧力伝達装置の接点がちょっと切れただけなんだぜ。
June's going to be visited by by Bill Dandy from Oh My Goddess.
ね？どうしたの？
つまんない。
何が？
だってせっかく遊びに来たの。
ああ。
You know, when I think about the moon, I don't often think about wandering packs of dogs.
こら、あっち行け。
I guess it could be werewolves. That'd be fitting. werewolves on the moon.
こいつ
I mean, yeah.
えらいことやっちまった。この犬はモノポリスの警察犬だろ。
Also, I mean, you had it restrained. You didn't actually have to kill it. You could have just, like, put it somewhere, I guess.
ポリスたちだ。
どうしよ
なるほど。こういう方法もあったとはな。いや、全くぼやうまいことを考えたもんだ。宝石採掘用の機械が武器になるとはな。
Not much of a weapon. I guess it could be a man catcher if you needed it to be.
助けられたのは俺の方なんだから。元気でな。
その犬どうするんですか？
Dinner? Is it gonna be dinner?
にも俺の腹の中
Yeah. Shit's rough on the moon, man. And then we see this. Clearly this is gonna be where the villains are showing up.
久しぶりですね。こうして家族揃って町に遊びに来るなんて。
Oh no, just our protagonists in a better
レイ
place.
チェルはわしらと一緒で迷惑しとるんじゃないのか？
あ？
う。やだ、おじいちゃんったら。
何のこと？
バカ。
I like the characters so far. They're very personable.
どうだ、シュン。
Easy to understand.
遊んできたら。
そうね。私はお父さんと買い物を済ませてしまうから、そうしたら？
うん。
そうだ。シュン、空港へ行ってみようよ。ねったら。
There's gonna be this special person that what's his name? Alex? That Alex was expecting? Why do they call them debuggers? I didn't actually ask that out loud before.
アレックス。
メリンダ。メリンダ。そこの連中動くな。
レイチェル！レイチェル！嘘だろ。僕は何もしていないぞ。手錠を外してくれ。
I guess you prevent them from leaving, then investigate the camera or the video of the area to see who actually did throw it. I mean, unless they're just blanket arresting everybody, which is B. Okay, yeah, they're just trying to get information. That's not so bad.
全くうちのポリスたちもしっかりしてるよ。ありがたすぎて涙が出てくる。
そりゃどうも。じゃあ僕帰っていいんですか？
君はバーソロミュー事件の首謀者達也野々村の弟だな。記録にそうある。
Well, I was right.
あの事件は私も地球にいた頃耳にした。7年前。
I guess the brother was the brother.
陸軍士官学校の中等部だった。
Anything with a guitar and a drum beat, I'm down for. Sorry, I legit just thought that was bad animation. I was like, there's no hole in the wall there. I just thought, oh, it just must be going on. Bad animation. Crashed. Well, that explains why that station looked like shit when we saw it earlier.
犯人たちに対する統括局の処罰は甘いものだった。終身刑という名目で土星開発に従事。それが私には
Okay, we're at Saturn too.
そんな手ぬるい処置では過激
By which I mean Saturn as well, not the movie Saturn 2.
そんなこと僕にはわかりません。
君は首謀者達也野々村の弟だよ。ゆっくり話を聞きたいものだな。おい、連れて行け。
It's kind of a bitch move, though, to arrest me so long after the crime.
まだ坊やだぜ。
どうした坊や、かっぱらいでもやったのかい。
アレックス、なぜ私がはるばるここにやってきたかわかる？
地球で別れて1年だもんな。私も会いたかったよ。
ふざけないで。父が心配してるのよ。父の手元に送られてくるあなたの評判が。
よくない。その通りだ。空港で分かっただろう。
Okay, so sister or love interest?
知っていてなぜ？
Has to be sister, because I think...
いや、私だって前任者のように適当に任期を務めて地球に帰りたいよ。でもここへ来て分かったんだ。このままでは我々の先祖が築いたこの新世界は滅亡する。開拓民どもは思い上がっている。統括局の
Ah, you're just a bit high up your own ass. You Earthians!
おやすみ、メリンダ。慣れない旅行で疲れただろう。
アレックス。
Okay, no, it is love interest.
メリンダ。
Sorry, it's the dad thing. I thought maybe it was like our dad, but it's more like, no, she is... Her dad's important, so she refers to him as dad, with the understanding that Alex would understand what's going on.
早く出ろ。すげえもん作ったな。ちょっとしたもんだろ。
Yeah, this kid gave me the idea for it. Yeah, that one. That kid. That's a lot of wall.
静かな夜で結構だな。
You think he planted a tracker on our, on Shun? And that's why he's not, like, super concerned?
レイチェル、もう帰りなさい。大丈夫よ。シュンはじきに戻ってくるわよ。私が空港へ来なんて言わなかった。シュンは。
So I guess implying that there's not a large history of people coming back after being arrested.
お宅の息子さんを送ってきてやったのでね。
シュン、お前、こんな時間に釈放されたのかい？
いえ、その。
いや、聞いて驚いたよ。この子が達也の弟だとは知らなかった。
達也。
あなたは達也を知っているのか。
まあ話せば長くなるが。
話さなくて結構。すぐここを出て行ってもらおう。
そうですな。余計な迷惑はかけたくない。だが、これだけは知っておいてほしい。
Again, this is the call to action of the hero's story.
でっち上げです。達也は無実だ。
The monomyth, as it were. Typically, the first call to action is rejected by the hero.
シュン、あの男に関わり合うんじゃない。
I guess in this respect, not of his own accord. It seems like he would have gone with.
Machigairu monka. Airport に潜り込んでいる仲間の情報だ。これは確かだぜ。ドク。よし。
Oh, do you think the sister is working for the rebellion, or whatever we're gonna call them?
私に対する批判はいろいろあるだろう。それに対してとやかく言わん。
So I keep calling her sister, the love interest. I forgot what her name was. Starts with an A. Without the board available to me, I don't really remember names. Okay, they're just smaller domes, not the large dome that I was talking about during the pilot.
直径7キロメートルのクレーターに49万8000人の開拓民が生活している。
Sparks were just floating all over the surface of the moon. They don't spot the Dallos on their own. Since it seems to be, I guess, I'm still guessing, face up to the sky.
あのようにして鉱石を工場衛星に送り、各種資材に生成して地球に運ぶ。
Real dangerous way to send it.
約束されてるわけさ。
Oh, that is the Dallos right there, isn't it? So people just can see it.
アレックス、あれは
ダロスだ。
ダロス。
誰がいつ作ったかわからない。だが開拓民たちは神と崇めている。
神。
お笑い草だ。わずか半世紀の歴史の中で神が生まれ、伝説が語られ
I
る。
thought the pilot said that they built it. So is it going to turn out to be like an alien thing? I mean, that would be way more interesting, I guess.
そんな彼らの生命の安全を守るには徹底した管理しかありえない。
Oh, you better put on your spacesuits pretty quick. '80s action theme song time. No, legit, put your spacesuits on. It's about to get deadly up in here.
ダメです。この状態で無理に上昇すると船は横転します。非常事態発生。非常事態発生。作業班避難せよ。
This totally could have been a Saturday morning action cartoon. I could totally imagine watching this back in the 80s. Seriously, is that like a section of the ship you could go to? Isolate yourself?
うまくやられたな。奴ら俺たちを盾にしよった。やむを得船を捨てる。全員船外に脱出せよ。メリンダ。
Melinda. I don't know where I got the A name from. His name's Alex. Maybe that's what I was thinking. Wow. That's why it's not a Saturday morning cartoon. I wonder why that happened, though, because they were in the spacesuits already. It seemed like. Maybe they weren't sealed properly. I'm still suspecting she's actually part of it. That they're not so much kidnapping a person, but they're actually taking back their own operative. Still, there's guesses, obviously, because I have to know more about Tatsuya to know about what's going on with this whole resistance. Not so much a fan of whatever instrument that was. Guessing a sax? Someone's going to tell me this is jazz, and I hate jazz already. But it just sounds to me like somebody who doesn't know how to play whatever instrument they're trying to play. I mean, Shun really did not resist that call to action very hard at all. So he's out here fighting the police. Very, Die Hard 4? You just took out a helicopter with a car. You know, one of those. See? Same thing. Maybe the director of that movie was a fan of Dallos. Are we making mechs? Because that's what's happening here?
作業車を解体し、各パーツを寄せ集めてモジュレーションスーツを作っている。ベム1号、君の思いつきを参考にしたんだ。
I always stumble into a mecha.
あなたがリーダーなのね。どういうつもりなの？私をどうする気？
お嬢さん、我々はあんたを
Looks like I was
人
wrong.
質にした。
Guessed that plot point badly.
地球の奴らに我々の要求をすべて受け入れてもらうためだ。
要求？
人間らしい扱いをしてほしいということだ。
俺たち開拓民の苦しさが地球のあんたにはわかるまい。見ろ、俺たちにつけられたこのリングを。
Oh, they're forced to. Oh, the rings, duh.
死ぬまで外すことができないんだ。空港で鉄くずを投げたのは俺だよ。俺たちの恨みを。
Sorry, I had them in my head so much as being headbands, I didn't even consider the fact that they are ring-shaped.
これだもんな。何にも分かっちゃいねえんで。
That explains how they can track everybody so easily.
殺してやりたいくらいだぜ。
みんな、俺たちはとうとうやった。サイは投げられたんだ。もう後戻りはできないぜ。バーソロミューでの屈辱を晴らし、俺たちの自由を。
As Caesar once said.
Remember バーソロミュー。Remember 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 バーソロミュー。
I believe Ali asked, sorry, I'm saying that wrong, but is the die is cast? Isn't that right?
ここは地球を離れること38万4400キロ。自転と公転のいたずらで永遠に祖国を見ることができない月の裏側。今、激しい嵐が吹き荒れようとしている。
Again, a possibly alien Dallos thing.
君には人を殺すことはできん。
動くな、動くな。
メリンダを人質にしたゲリラ側の作戦は警察軍の動きを封じ
What
た
the
か
hell
に
do
見え
those
た。
dogs?
しかし、アレックスは愛犬ジェロニモをサイボーグ犬にしてゲリラが潜む行動内に放ち、同時に開拓民が守護神と崇めるダロスの破壊を命じた。
Okay. Alright, so they said they turned Geronimo into a cyborg, so I'm assuming all those other dogs that were wearing the gear and everything were also turned into cyborgs, thus answering that question. Yeah. It didn't seem like whatever demolition was happening was having any real effect on the Dallos, so seems more likely to me that they're uncovering the Dallos by trying to destroy it, and not so much actually destroying it. Was completely wrong about Melinda. I thought Melinda was actually going to be the secret operative that was feeding them information, because if you remember, one guy said that they were they had an operative on the shuttle that gave them information, and for some reason, I thought it was going to be that narrative thing where the person who is the closest to the antagonist is actually going to be on the other side. But it didn't seem that way, unless she's really hiding her cover, even when she's in the midst of what would seem to her to be the opposite faction. I don't know. It's kind of weird to me why the moon is filled with dogs, especially the far side of the moon, right? They had to have brought all those dogs there, or I guess they could have bred them. German shepherds on the moon. I don't know. My mind goes back to, especially there at the end, the movie Moon, where they have one clone being constantly recloned to run maintenance on just large automatic machines that are essentially mining the lunar surface. I guess I said it earlier, and I want to say it again, like lithium something, like lithium 6, or it's basically whatever the surface layer of the moon is really good for energy production, and I feel like that's what they're mining. Well, at least they are in Moon. I don't know what they're mining here, because it seems like they're just taking all sorts of moon rock and hurling it at a satellite, which is then, I guess, refining it, but I don't know what they're getting from moon rock itself. I'm just not familiar enough with the composition of the moon to know what would be beneath the surface. Unless it's water, because they did say in the text crawl at the start how stained and polluted the Earth had been, so they could just be refining. Sorry, I was also, in my own time, listening to the audiobook of The Jaunt from Stephen King. It's a cosmic horror about teleportation, and in that, the Earth is so polluted and whatnot, and it needs new water. And that's the benefit of the teleportation system, to go to like Mars and get water from Mars and from the moon and etc. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know exactly what we're mining from the moon. Also, there's the element of the family unit, which recognizes I've said his name 3 times already, and now that I'm trying to tell it to you without the show going on, I can't remember his name. T-name, Shun's brother, who apparently sacrificed himself in a train terrorism event. Apparently was in on this, so he knows what all this is about, but they're heavily indicating that he died in the event on Bartholomew Station, but I don't know. The show makes me feel like he's still alive and will show up again later. Like, surprise, brother, I wasn't dead. Although that would be the type of character that is too extreme for the main character. The "you can't do this, brother" character. And I don't know what stereotypes or tropes this OVA might be playing with, because I've already guessed wrong multiple times. I'm invested, because this is a very interesting story, because it feels like it's between 2 decades. I know this is like mid-80s, but for me, the story feels like it's between the 70s and 80s. Leaning more towards the 80s, obviously, but I very much appreciate it. Except for that one saxophone player who apparently was learning his sax as he was going. I know, I'm joking, I'm being hyperbolic here. I just don't like jazz. I like the saxophone, I don't like jazz. And that guy, maybe he was meant to like imply the dissonant nature of what was going on in the scene by every time Shun was in frame, the sax just goes fucking crazy. I don't know. I would be better at reading into that than I would be appreciating the sax in this jazz format, whatever was going on there. But overall, though, I really do enjoy the soundtrack. I really do enjoy the narrative that's going on now. I appreciate the fact that we started with the pilot, which gave us a history of what was going on, so that I can better like encompass the political situation at play here. Alex has some crazy white hair. I'm glad that they didn't go too hardcore on the Melinda thing when she was like on all fours on the bed and then she's surrounded by the guys, and it's like, ooh, this scene could get real hardcore in a bad way real quick. But then the dude starts quoting like Caesar. Well, probably Shakespeare, because I believe the quotes of Caesar come from Shakespeare plays most of the time when people quote him. Because also I believe he did say the Latin for the die is cast, because he also says there's no going back, which is the second line to that phrase, I believe. Other than that, I guess the only other odd thing is the arm, the mechanical arm that they're using for like weaponry, because he's like wearing it over his shoulder with no like strap gear. So he's carrying all that weight on one shoulder. and all that weight is then lifting up like the rocks of a wall and whatnot. So if you ever watched like any video from like say Hacksmith Industries where they try to make like a mech suit or anything, it's all about weight distribution and the system to carry it. So you can't just like put all that on one arm. You'll just rip your arm out of socket or off. But it also looks like they're going to be making mechs, because that's what he talked about with the BEM ones. So we wander us away into another mecha anime. Although, yeah, rambling again. I really enjoyed it. Really good. Really excited to see next episode. So, as we already said, I'm recording the next one back to back with this one. So, I'm going to go ahead and roll onto that one. But I will see the rest of you later. Give you guys time to comment. Tell me how bad I am at this. Whatever you do, I'll read it anyway. I always do. Otherwise, though, I have been Theta. This has been Stoneface Reactions. We will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe and let us know what you thought about this video and what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?